Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and I always love it when we get to spend a little bit of time together. We are going to be using the gorgeous February Hip Kit Club, Our Stories. Look at the colors in this, and I'm going to be using it today to document a double page spread. So today we're going to create A. B is already all done, so we'll do the big reveal. And it's a river walk that my daughter and I took in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I'm excited to share with you how it all came together. Here are some of the pieces of ephemera we're going to be using. I fussy cut these flowers out, and these came in the ephemera kits. We have chipboard, we have remember, and we have this was the best day of my life. I like to think we have a lot of those real good days. And then here's some more fussy cutting, some pieces of ephemera, and then this piece that came in the kit that says the way I see it. And for me, it just brought forth the memory of what we saw when we were walking along the river. All right, so let's move all of this away. I love this picture. She was like right in front of the camera. We can only get so far away and still get Ava in the picture. All right, so let's move these away. I got a little distracted there. And let's get started putting this together. We're going to start with this page. Look at the print on that. Isn't that beautiful? We have this in the middle. This is going to go, let me see here. Hold on, Texas. Let's see what we're doing. I know I want this tear. I want to work out the top here. And I think I want to put this here. And then this is the back side. I did a scrapbook spread using these rainbows, and I used the yellow one and the blue one. But I want to put this on top of the two of them, I think, at about the 10. All right, let's see. And then this one. So that comes down about at the, about right there, I think. That's where I want that. Okay, so we want to put this down. Let's do this first. This is a pretty side too, right here. All right, so let's set this down, and I want it at about the 4.5 mark. And that's one of the things I love about these Versamats is that it's hard not to have something straight if you just look from side to side at the half mark there. All right, and then we're going to do this up here. So let's lay this piece down. Beautiful woven on the back. And let's put this on, and it fits perfectly if you're just paying attention when you're laying it down. There we go. All right, now we're going to lay this across the top right here. This is a very simple layout. It has some beautiful ephemera clusters. However, there's no background stamping. I've literally used the, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Let's pay attention. You know me, half mark. I want to go this way. Here we go. So, yeah, I start talking and I can't pay attention to what I'm doing, so we're good. I'm creating the entire layout with paper. There's no background stamping. That's what I was trying to say to you. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to put this down, and I believe we're going to put this on underneath there. That's what we're going to do. Okay. I wanted to create, I wanted the bottom to look like it was the river on the bottom. And I also needed to bring in some of this blue. So that's why I decided to tear this and put it underneath here. So you'll see how this comes together in just a moment. Because we were walking along the river. All right, so let's put this down right here. Okay, here we go. And now we're going to stick this right underneath this rim to kind of give the feel of the river. Oh my gosh, it was a hot 90 degrees. in Chattanooga, and I'd gone up for the weekend to visit our daughter. And so we decided, well, maybe it'll be a little cooler down by the river. So why don't we go up there? And that's what we did because there was a breeze. All right, I want this about right here. Gotta move this side up about right there. And with the tear, it's never going to look perfectly straight, right? So we are not going to worry about that. And now we're going to lay this piece down because I want to bring from there to the bottom. All right, let's do that. I just think this looks so pretty together. And isn't it neat how you can have so many different types of cardstock with the different prints on them, and it just comes together beautifully. Really does look pretty. Now this small thin piece, I'm not going to try to do that. I'm going to use this multi-liquid glue. And I want this side, so I need to glue on this side. I almost messed that up. So funny, every now and again, I'll get on my toes in the middle of a video and go, oh, please tell me that I hit record. Because I'm certainly not going to pull all this off. All right, here we go. I'm not going to drop it. And you do have a little bit of wiggle room with it. We're going to put it right on the bottom. And you can see why I put this thin strip on the bottom is because there's the mauve and the pink up there. Look how pretty that looks all by itself. We did no background stamping, right? All right. So let's think of where we're going to put these photos. I want this. This is going to go on the back of here. And it's going to frame it because I wanted to bring some of this blue. So we can do this right now. Can't wait for you to see how page 2 or page B has come out with this. It looks real pretty together, I think. Right there. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is going to go here. Now, I didn't want to color this, blend it with ink, but I wanted it to stand out, and it didn't stand out as much on that. So what I did is I cut out, this is just a piece of cardstock that I had. It did not come in the kit. And I am going to put this here. But before I glue down the photo, I need to get this down and then just kind of figure out placement here. And I'm not putting it everywhere, just in enough places it'll hold it down, right? Because it'll be in a sheet protector. Da, 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 da. There we go. Flip it over. And I know some of this is going to be tucked under the photo. I'm going to lay it down on here just to get it centered enough and to make sure. I'm looking at the top of the letters to make sure that it's straight. Okay. All right, so now let's see where I want to put it. Okay. All right, I can do that. And all I have to do is not put tape along that edge. Okay, so let's lay this down, and I want it just below, about right there, I think. And looking at this edge, make sure it's all straight. There we go. Now we can put this down. For me, the funnest part of this layout right here was creating the background with just paper. Now see, I'm talking again. I think I want to put that about right there because I'm going to have some florals. My 3 clusters are 1, 2, and 3 on page B. So now we can put this down because nothing goes underneath it. There we go. Just gives it a little bit of lift so it looks good. And we're going to put it about right here and make sure it's straight along that edge. I love that photo. All right, so now let's work on the clusters, and we're going to do this one down on the bottom first. Oh my gosh, I love this. Love how it's coming together. We're going to take a gel pen and do the leaf right here, going right down the middle. And all you do is you just take your pen and you go back and forth like this, and it gives that nice effect that it's actually been stitched. And then we're going to pinch the leaf like this. And we're going to do the same to the rest of the flower. All right, so let's kind of get an idea of how we're putting this together. I want the tricycle. Okay, I have not had enough coffee or something. I want to do the bicycle. I think I want this right here on a strip. So we're going to grab one of these right here. I don't remember where I got those. I don't know if that's Stampin' Up or it's something that I got on Amazon. I think it's Amazon, actually. I need my scissors. As together as I try to be. All right, so we know we're putting that. Stick that right there. We know we're going to use that. A tip when you are cutting, you're trying to fussy cut all these out. If there's one that's missing half of the flower, you know what? You just stick it here, right? And no one knows that the bottom half isn't there. You just have fun. All right, we're going to do the same with this leaf right here. So there's more on a 12 by 12 sheet than you may realize if you're not concerned with half of the flower being missing or a quarter of the flower being missing. All right. I want this over here, so we can glue that down. Okay, let's do this. Let's not drop anything. I'm going to put it about right there. I purposely wanted to show a little bit of this lavender in the background. And this, I'm bringing out the green. And of course, there's that beautiful green color in this grass right here too. And I want this literally on the photo. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's figure out what we're doing here with these florals. And then we got to do the cluster up at the top. I want this. Oh, and this is a neat thing. I've done this with stamping, but I also like to do it if I'm fussy cutting. If there's just a black and white and this is a navy, but if it's just a outlined drawing, I like to include that with the actual full colored in florals, and it just looks so pretty. So let's get a little bit of this together and I'll show you what I mean. And I'm going to decide which ones to put on dimensionals once we get more of this together. I think I want this. This is going to go about right here. So I have that green. So I need green up this way. Let's move it like this. And let's stick this up here to get some of this white and the solid. I want to put this down here as if it's in front of that flower. And then we're going to have this about right here. Okay. All right. So let's put down the bike. Why I thought it was a tricycle, I don't know. Okay. We know we want the tricycle about right here. Okay. And we're going to stick this down. It's going to go about right here. And then let's put this down. And I want it in front of the wheel as if the bicycle is in the back of this floral bush. That's my story. Okay, so it needs to be tucked under just a little bit, right? All right, and let's put this down. Yeah, let's put this down right on top. This one. And let's take this one and put it up on a dimensional. There we go. We've already curled up the floral a little bit by pinching it just with your between your fingers. I'm gonna do the same to the leaf. And I want this over here. Oh, I almost had them both like that. That would not have looked good. And I think I want to put it, that looks better. There we go. All right. And this needs to be moved over a titch because we don't want the space showing, do we? There we go. All right, then we're going to put this one right there or right there. I think right there. Oh my word. Y'all know how this happens. I want to turn this a bit. The struggle is real when you're doing this. Come on. There we go. Let's rearrange these a bit. Let's kind of figure it out. That's what I want right there. Okay. And then I want underneath. Yes. Oh. Here we go. Put that under here. Right there. All right. So we have some dimension going on. There we go. That looks good. Now let's peel this. And let's do the cluster up top. And then we're going to do the reveal for the second page. I know you're excited. All right, here we go. Well, let's see. I don't know. I don't want it to cover up so much of the bike. Right there. That looks good. All right, now let's work on our cluster up top. This is a sticker that came in one of the ephemera packages that you get. And I'm going to put this up about right here because it's kind of grounding what I'm doing. And we're going to put a floral. And we have this flower. I want this about right here. And I want this flower, which we're going to do the leaves again. Right. And these leaves are something I decided to do after I'd finished page B. So we may have to do some fixing on the next one when I reveal page B. So I want this like right there. This is another sticker. And it's going to go on top there. So we need to wait. I want to kind of bring it together like this. So we need to figure out what's going where. And this, can I lift this sticker up a bit? Of course I can. Okay. Let's do this. No, we don't need that. Goodbyes. All right, here we go. All right, so that's right there. We're going to put this flower down. You notice I'm not putting glue over the entire piece because I have it bent up and I want to have that dimension in it right there. Okay, we're going to put that there. Now we can lay this down. Brings out the blue beautifully. Put it right there. I want this on dimensions. It's going to go on the top. I'm going to lay this down now. And it's going to go, I think, about right there. There we go. And we can put this on a dimension, but it's going to be on a smaller one. These lower ones right here. Let's do these. Let's do one of these. All right, here we go. But during our walk, we came across this mimosa tree right along the side of the river. And it was, oh my gosh, there were hundreds of butterflies all flying around this beautiful mimosa. It was stunning, stunning, stunning. And then we saw a team of rowers, you know, out doing their morning practice row. So it was fun to see all of it. It was a beautiful morning. And after that, we went to this co-op that serves lunch and these, they're called frosés. It's wine slushy. So we sat outside under the umbrella and enjoyed that. It really was just a lot of fun. All right, well, there we go. Didn't that come together so easily? There was no background stamping. It was all about the clusters, bringing out the colors. Well, don't go anywhere because now I'm going to bring in page B and the big reveal. Oh, I'm so excited to show you this. My goal was to create the look of a river along the bottom, have my 3 clusters, and to do the entire spread with just sheets of cardstock. So you can see how I continued this across on both. We have the gray in the middle, we have the river along the bottom, and I brought the mauve in with a thin strip, 1/4 inch strip, to bring in the mauve up here. And your eye follows the clusters going just like this. And this was a photo strip in one of the ephemera packages, and I absolutely loved it. And it also brought out the blue, and I just used some dimensional tape, dimensionals, and put this piece of ephemera there. And I love this little cluster down here, a quiet moment sitting by the river. Lauren is always so great when we're wanting to take photos. She loves taking them as much as I do. So let me show you these up close. This is one of my favorite clusters. Actually, I love them all. Um, I, don't be afraid to put stickers actually on your photos because they will bring it out more, emphasize the sticker, and then the sticker emphasizes what you're wanting to really promote with the photo. This cluster down here with the bike behind the florals, this photo makes me happy. And then this one right here, I put my journaling on the bottom, and I used a light gray because I didn't want it to be the forefront of the scrapbook page. And this photo here, this is the Tennessee River, and this is where we saw the rowers. I said, Lauren, turn around, taking your photo. She's always so great about it. All right, my friends, tell me in the comments below what you really enjoyed seeing in this video. Have you ever been to Chattanooga? What's your favorite thing to do in Chattanooga? It is such an eclectic, fun city to walk around in. Um, until we meet again, God bless, have an incredible day, and stay crafty. Bye bye.